There is a moment at the beginning of every business that feels a little like falling in love. You remember it, the electricity of it, the late nights that didn't feel like work yet, the ideas that kept you awake because they felt alive, the quiet certainty that this, whatever this was, mattered, that you were finally building something that belonged to you. And then somewhere along the way, things changed. Not all at once, slowly. Deadlines replaced curiosity. Pressure replaced possibility. Success felt fragile. Failure felt personal. And the thing you once loved began to feel complicated, heavy, sometimes exhausting. This series begins right there, in that tension between love and disappointment, because that's where most entrepreneurs actually live. Flirting with failure isn't about avoiding mistakes or pretending business is easy. It's about understanding the strange relationship we develop with risk, fear, ambition, and hope. The way we chase success while secretly bracing for it to disappear. The way we sabotage momentum because stability feels unfamiliar. The way we compare, overthink, overgive, and sometimes forget why we started at all. And more importantly, it's about remembering that failure was never the enemy. It was the conversation we didn't know how to have. Across 12 episodes, we are going to move through the full arc of that relationship. We begin at the beginning, the meet cute between you and your business, where excitement and blind spots were born at the same time, and where the earliest clues to your future struggles were already quietly present. From there, we step into attraction itself, why risk pulls at you, why curiosity keeps calling you forward, and why courage is often just fascination wearing a different name. We'll talk about the X effect, the projects, launches, and disappointments that still linger in your decisions long after they ended, and how to release the idea that you're uniquely broken for having failed at something you cared about. We'll look at mixed signals, where perfectionism disguises itself as professionalism, and how control can become fear dressed up as high standards. Then we move into stranger territory, the moment success finally shows up and you don't trust it. The small, brave risks that rebuild momentum when confidence disappears. The power struggle that happens when mistakes start making decisions for you instead of informing them. We'll laugh, genuinely, at the disasters that once embarrassed you, because humor has a way of loosening shame's grip. We'll look at comparison and envy, not as moral failures, but as clues pointing toward unlived creative desire. We'll revisit the ideas or opportunities that slipped away too soon, not to regret them, but to understand what they were trying to teach you. And toward the end, the energy shifts. The relationship matures. We talk about sustaining curiosity when you're tired, about tending your business instead of abandoning it when things get hard, and finally about the grand gesture, the moment when failure stops being something you survive and becomes part of what makes your work unmistakably yours. Because this really isn't a series about failure. It's about falling back in love with your work. Not in the naive, early days way, not in the hustle culture version that demands constant passion, but in a deeper way, one that understands disappointment, respects effort, and still chooses devotion. Kind of relationship that lasts because it's honest. If you've ever wondered whether you've lost the spark, if you've ever felt like you're working harder than ever but enjoying it less, if you've ever caught yourself thinking, I used to love this, then you are exactly where you're supposed to be. This is where the story changes. Not by pushing harder, not by becoming someone else, but by learning how to flirt your way through failure instead of fighting it, and rediscovering the thrill of building something you actually want to stay in relationship with. Let's begin.